The following podcast has been rated PGN. Parental guidance is neglected.
Boy, it's been a long time since we've had a little father-son chat.
I am your father.
Father, if you can hear me, I failed.
Don't let your mother smell that beer on your breath. She'll take it out on me.
I'm here with my dad.
I know what you're gonna say, son. And you're right. You're right.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I've abandoned my boy!
I'm introing. This is Regan Burns and Jackson Burns, my son. And this is the PGN podcast. Do we have to intro the show every time? First of all,
that was the most abrupt start to a podcast we've had since we started this. That's why I want to point that out.
Here's the thing. If you've looked up the podcast and you've clicked it, you obviously know. Why do I have to mention?
If we don't intro it, where do we start then? How do we open?
I mean, they just listen to an entire intro, like the song or music. If they're watching it on the YouTube, then they saw the visuals of it. It says father versus son, movies. I feel like anything that I say once we start to verbalize is almost redundant.
I feel like you're not good at this whole intro thing.
I'm not.
I feel like you've completely scrubbed this. Yeah,
I'm not. We could probably edit
that's
out.
all right though. I forgive you. So
you know what I am good at though is sucking on.
What are you good at?
I'm sucking on lozenges again.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Dude,
how's that cough doing?
I thought I had turned a corner, Jackson. I've been.
Well, first of all, you said for the viewers at home, you probably sound a million times better than you did last week. So there's that at least. I mean, I've watched the gradual increase in health, but for it's probably
a little
bit more noticeable.
Put it in the comments if I sound better, because I still feel. I can feel it's in my throat. It gets worse.
And also put in the comments if I just am overall better looking than my dad.
Yeah. And put in the comments if it looks like my son lives in a porn site. Because I don't know what kind of.
Hey, listen. Okay.
Green.
Well,
got his,
I kind of opened the can of worms on that one. I guess
you got your bed behind you, just ready to service whoever needs servicing.
To service. Wow.
That's my son right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Okay.
It's the parental. It's the parental guidance is neglected podcast. I'm still fighting the bronchitis, or I don't know. The people are like talking like, "Oh no, dude, you probably have COVID," even though you tested negative like 5 times. But you say I didn't. I didn't have it.
There's no shot. There's no way you'd be showing symptoms like in the middle of your worst symptoms. You wouldn't be coming up positive. That would not happen.
Yeah. When I was really bad, I was still negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
pretty much everyone that I've known that has COVID starts testing positive right when the symptoms start just barely kicking in. Like you might feel a little more tired, but by the time it's full swing, you'd be testing. You'd be like positive all the way.
I know. I'm so over it. Aren't we over it at this point?
We're over it. I think.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna say it, guys. COVID. Not good.
Not fun.
That's my That's
not our
great.
theme today. The takeaway is
the COVID-19.
Oh my god!
Can
you imagine if you just tuned into this podcast and you're like, oh my god, another podcast talking about COVID? I mean,
we're still doing this.
So burnt out on that.
Really?
It's the PGN. It's a PGN podcast. Father son talking movies. I guess the big news of the week before we get into our couple of films we saw is Jackson. You got a new set of wheels, didn't you? How's that working out for you?
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. I already told this. I told the story probably of I gave you a very high review as a business person on my other podcast. I told a story about all your negotiating skills and what I learned from that experience.
Yeah.
You did really good. Look, I've never bought a car, obviously, and technically I still have not bought a car because you paid for it. But I got to watch you kind of haggle with salespeople.
It's the worst, isn't it? It's the absolute. It's the absolute
it's the
worst. Buying a car.
And I'm conflicted because at the same time I feel bad for the salespeople because I know they only make money off of sales.
Right.
But also, I feel bad for us because we had to sit through a million different sales pitches and people begging for us to buy their product.
Dude, we bought you
and we ended up buying one.
Yeah, we bought you a car. It's a week later. I'm still getting tons of texts. You're getting a little bit because you gave your number to a couple, but I gave my
phone number to one place, and they're still calling.
They're still calling.
Yeah, still calling. I'm not picking up.
Now imagine all the dozens and dozens of places that we went. I'm getting calls.
Yeah, that's brutal.
The emails are insane, and I mean this is after I said we bought a car already.
Yeah, and we did buy a car, and it was great for the day that we bought it. I drove it all the way home from the dealership.
Yep.
And woke up the next morning to go to work. Started driving the car, and it just stopped. The car just stopped driving.
Yeah.
And the transmission seems to be completely.
We don't know.
Something.
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
We're hoping.
What's wrong with it?
One, we're gonna make sure, hopefully, that we don't have to pay for it, and two, hopefully, it's not a lemon.
Yeah.
But yeah. And of course, when we took it in, they were like, "We can't even look at it for a week because they're so backed up."
Yeah. So
which is always
hopefully by in a couple of days we'll hear back.
Always a good sign when you buy a car from a particular company and the company goes, "We're so backed up in repairs here at the company that it's going to be 7 days before we get to look at your car."
It takes so long for us to even touch your car.
Yeah. But it's still a nice ride. I hope we get it back soon. And
it was definitely a step up from my my 08 Camry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my experience.
Yep. Excuse me. See? I knew I was going to have a coughing fit out of nowhere. How's the rest of your week going? Pretty good?
I feel it coming.
How are things at the theater?
It's been good. Not good, actually.
No?
That's probably the worst part of my...
Wow.
So, I talked to you about this a little bit, but right now there's a bit of a meme phenomenon happening with the new Minions movie. The one that we did not see this week. Spoiler alert, because we have Pride.
We are not reviewing Minions this week.
No.
And
I know... half of it, for me at least, is because I don't want to see it. And the other half is because the crowd that is going to see this movie has made my job a living hell. It's just so many teenagers in suits.
You told me that. What is that? You're saying that kids are going to see this in suits.
It's kind of like a bit because it's such a dumb cash grab movie where it's like people are acting like it's the next Citizen Kane as like a ironic bit. So it's like, oh, we'll get dressed up nice and we'll go to IHOP and get the Minions meal and then we'll go into the movie theater and act professional in the movie theater. But everyone is leaving the theaters complete messes. Our theater is selling Minion-related concessions that are just selling out so quickly and making people upset when they try to buy one and we can't. Just super backed up on orders. It's been a complete nightmare.
I'm looking it up on Rotten Tomatoes right now. What's been the audience reaction to me? Since we're not reviewing it, what's the vibe been coming out of? It's not too bad. It's got a 72 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I haven't been working as an usher since it opened. I've been working food and concessions, so I only get to see people before they come into the theater. So I have no clue how people are liking this. If I had to guess, I would say people are rating this higher than they think because of the meme. That would be my guess.
Really?
But I think that honestly, it's probably a middle of the line. Just, it's a cash grab. It's who was like, you know what we need? We need a Gru childhood backstory. It's like, why would you do? I don't think anyone was asking for it. It was more of just like it's their thing. Minions is the new
the new what?
Winnie the Pooh, or I don't know, some big. I guess that's not a good comparison.
It's got a 72 on Rotten Tomatoes, from critics. It's got
from critics or
critics 72,
okay.
Audience 91. The critics' consensus: the Minions' antic shenanigans are beginning to grate. Well, right there, that should be enough. Despite the sequels in...
The Minions bit has been grating since it started, I feel like. That's never been a...
Despite the sequel's injection of retro chic, although this loony marathon of gags will still delight young children. Yeah, we're not going to that.
No. I mentioned this very briefly. I mentioned this very briefly in my review for Lightyear, but when I go to see kids movies like that, I do, like I said, the Mr. Rogers test, where it's like, how seriously are they taking this movie? And just from the trailer alone, it's like... oh, look, it's a fart joke. It's It's slapstick. It's, you know, I'm just like, I've seen this a million times. It's not worth my time. I will not pay money for that. I'm sorry. Or go see it for free, for that matter. I don't need to spend time on that.
Okay. What if your sister begged you to take her to it? You love your sister more than anything in the world.
I would, because I am dragging her to go see that Kurosawa movie tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
That. So if she wanted to see that...
No. Jackson is dragging his 16-year-old sister to see a 3-hour Kurosawa film, Ron. I'm like, she's going to hate you.
You weren't here, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But I was eating dinner with the family, and I said, I'm gonna go see that Kurosawa movie. It sucks that I don't have anyone to come with me because none of my friends are into that shit. No one I know wants to sit through a 3-hour samurai film.
All right.
Which is fine. I would have been fine with going to see myself. But Killian, without me saying anything, said that she said, "When is it?" And I said, "Oh, it's Sunday." And she said, "I'll go with you." And I said, "You're not going to want to go. It's 3 hours. It's foreign film. It's going to be completely subtitled. You know, it's an hour drive away." I gave her every possible. I sent her the trailer. I gave her every possible chance to walk away, and she said, "No, I'll go see it with you." No, so I'm taking her.
You screwed up.
My hand is out of this.
You screwed up. Okay.
What did I screw up? What did I do?
Let's pretend. Let's do some role playing. I'm you. Okay. And you're Killian. And I'm going to bring up the film, and then you're going to answer the way your sister did, okay? And then I'm going to show you the way you should have responded. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm such a geek. I'm going this Sunday to sit through a 3-hour Kurosawa film at an art house. It's called Ron. It's about samurais. It's Ron.
Maybe it is Ron. I don't know.
It's about samurais, and it's subtitled in black and white, and it's endless and boring. But I sure wish I had someone to go with me. No one seems to want to go.
Well, when is it? You know, I might want to actually come with you to that.
Killian,
that sounds kind of interesting.
Killian, I love you dearly as a sister. Yeah. I would never put you through that, and I will not. I refuse, as sweet as you are, to take you to this excruciatingly long, boring film in which you will feel trapped in a never-ending void of unentertaining Japanese art house cinema. That's what you should have said.
Okay, I feel like we took a lot of unnecessary swipes at Kurosawa.
No, I'm just telling you the way you should have responded to that, and you didn't.
Okay. All right. I guess.
So.
Then my mistake. In that case, my mistake. And look, there's no turning back now. The tickets have been bought.
Okay, so when Killian next week says, "I got 2 tickets to go see the Bolshoi Ballet," it's a 4-hour show at the LA Convention Center.
What are you going to say? And I would go see it because I do owe her one for having her come with us to me. Okay. I would go see it. If she didn't, I would be like, she has a million dance friends that would actually get something out of that.
They can't go. They're all busy. They're all at a Kurosawa movie marathon that weekend.
They're all at
yeah. So you have to go to the Bolshoi Ballet.
Yeah, that's rough. Speaking of the art house theater, this is the same theater that was playing Lost Highway, which I brought up last week, and I said I would give a review of now.
The David Lynch film.
David Lynch film. I loved it. I had a lot of fun watching it. I know Dad's gonna be like, "Well, what was it about?" I don't care. I had fun watching it. Yeah. I thought acting was amazing. Shout out to Bill Pullman. Shout out to Patricia Arquette. Great score.
Yeah.
Of course, because there's always great scores for Lynch movies. Shot beautifully.
Awesome.
I really liked it a lot.
Awesome.
Was it the best? Was it the bench Lynch related movie I've seen? No, but I had a lot of fun watching it. Theater had a lot of fun watching it. Some really funny moments, especially from blanking on his name, but the older actor that plays the businessman in that movie. I recommend if you're into David Lynch. If you're not, then don't see it because you will be upset and clammy like my father.
What's it about?
I was waiting. See, I was just gonna say I was waiting for the. I knew.
Yeah,
it's
Don't even bother.
It's a good one.
Don't even bother. It's a David Lynch film. Nobody knows what it's about.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw it so many years ago. I don't think it was his worst. It certainly wasn't worth seeing. On my scale, Jackson's scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 5, which is an F.
Wow, that was an. I gave it an 8.
Yeah,
that was my.
Look at you, whatever.
That was my thing.
It is the PGN podcast. Last week, Jackson and I got off on a little bit of a tangent on our childhood memories of juice boxes post sports games.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot about it, but guess who didn't forget about it?
I saw that being
holding
purchased.
a Capri Sun and a juice box.
Well, now you know which.
No,
how are you gonna do the taste test? You know which.
We're not doing the taste test. We're seeing which one has more. I'm holding up right now.
Oh, right, more content.
And
okay,
by the way, I have not looked at the fluid ounces in either one of these. I've purposely
I'm
looked
glad
away.
that you have done that.
We're going to just visualization and say which one looks as though, but we're not doing it now. This is the tease. If you're going to want to find out which one wins the Juice Box Capri Challenge of who contains more fluid, you're going to have to stick around. That's how we're closing out tonight's show. That's kind of like when you're watching the Grammys, you're like, you got to wait till the end for Drake or Doja Cat.
Right. I get that.
We're not coming out.
By the way, if it looks like I keep looking down at my phone, it's because I just realized it's my turn to pick a movie this week, and I forgot to pick one, so I'm just kind of scrolling through right now and looking.
Wow. Well, you have time.
No. I know that was my. I for some reason I thought it was audience choice pick, but I'm gonna find something.
You'll find something. In the meantime, however, Minions was the big film that opened this weekend, and as you can gather from now. You could not drag us kicking and screaming to see Minions, so there was really nothing to see at the box office. With that said, it was my week to pick a classic film that neither one of us had seen, and then we also checked out a new movie streaming on Apple TV, which we're going to begin with. It's called ChaCha Real Smooth. If you don't have Apple TV, I don't think there's any way to access this film as of yet. They will probably put it up on pay-per-view. If it's not already, maybe you can pay to see it. It is written, directed by, and stars a gentleman by the name of Cooper Raiff, R-A-I-F-F. I think I'm saying that correct. My apologies if I'm not. A little research showed me he's kind of an up-and-coming filmmaker. He had a movie that made a little bit of buzz at South by Southwest Film Festival down there in Austin. A year or two ago called Shit House, which I think is about his college life. It looks like it all takes place in a dorm. I watched the trailer. After seeing ChaCha Real Smooth, I was curious to see what else this up-and-comer is doing. He apparently got some notice with Shit House because he did attract some bigger names to this one. It also stars the very hot Dakota Johnson, who's just seems like she's in every other movie right now. The Lost Daughter.
Seriously.
Last year she's in the upcoming Persuasion on Netflix. You would probably know her from those horrific 50 Shades of Grey movies, but she was also in one of my favorite films a couple of years ago. And I'm completely blanking on it.
50 Shades Darker.
It was 50 Shades Darker. What was? Why am I blanking? The one with Chris Hemsworth and John Hamm and Jeff Bridges in the
Bad Times.
Bad Times at the El Royale. Which
great movie.
Love that.
So much fun.
Love that film. She was also in that. It also stars Leslie Mann. She's an actress who appears in all of Judd Apatow's movies because she's married to him. This, by the way, this is the strongest I've ever seen Leslie Mann. I've always thought she was a pretty strong comedic actress. She was great in 40-Year-Old Virgin. This is the best work I've ever seen her do. She is fantastic. And also stars a young girl by the name of Vanessa Berghart, who plays Dakota Johnson's autistic daughter. She is, in fact, autistic in real life. She also deserves mention. It's a story of I don't like to say coming of age, but gentleman just getting out of college.
I would say coming of age, probably.
Well, he's coming out of college. He's in his 20s, a little bit of a lost soul after graduating from, I believe it was Tulane. Finds himself working kind of meaningless jobs, and by coincidence or chance, ends up becoming a party organizer / cheerleader for all the local Jewish kids having their bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. Which, by the way, Jackson, was a little. It seemed like there was one going on like every other night. I'm like,
well, being someone who did grow up around a lot of Jewish people, I was like surprised. It was very accurate because there was kind of like a season where it was like
every other weekend.
A freaking bar mitzvah every other weekend.
I guess if they're all friends, they're all in that.
And they did have party starters like that. I remember this made me think of this story, but I was at one of my close friends' bar mitzvahs, and the party starter. I went to go to the bathroom, and the party starter had stolen my seat. And I came back, and he wouldn't let me sit down unless I danced in front of everybody while nobody was on the dance floor. And it was the most embarrassing moment of the night, and people got video of it, and I felt horrible. And I was like, really hated that guy. So that was just a completely unrelated story. And
we will be uploading that video onto the end of this episode. So
that will be.
Not only do you get the juice box,
I was actually looking for it today, and I couldn't find it. I was upset.
All right, that's a teaser. If we can find it. That will be up next.
I will add in that video if I can find it.
All right, we will. If we can, we will add that. Stick around at the end of the show after the Juice Box Capri Sun Challenge for Jackson's bar mitzvah,
of course,
solo dance premiere. But back to the film, ChaCha Real Smooth. The story takes a bit of a turn after this young gentleman's encounter with Dakota Johnson, who plays the mother of the autistic girl who's attending these parties as well. This is a film that I don't think reinvents the wheel. You probably will see most things that happen coming. It's not doesn't take any turns that you probably couldn't predict just from the first 10 or 15 minutes. Its saving grace is, I would say, the performances are extremely strong. The script feels like someone who's probably only done a couple films. He's probably still finding his voice, but I never felt anything was fake or artificial. I think there's some clever dialogue. I'm not sure what Cooper Raiff's range is as an actor. I know I watched the preview of the trailer of Shithouse, his earlier film after this, which he also wrote, directed, and starred in, and I'm like, it looks as though he's playing the same guy, maybe just the college version of him.
He seems like a almost character actor where he can. He plays one guy.
But I have no problem with that. If you do something well, and he does it very well in this film, stick with it and surround yourself with very talented people. That's kind of the Seinfeld recipe of, if Jerry Seinfeld can only do one thing, put 3 actors around him who are fantastic, and it elevates everything. Yeah. It's a very moving film. It's sad at times. It's hilarious when it's hilarious. It probably has an ending that some will not be completely satisfied with, but sometimes that's the way life works. But you'll definitely be rooting for some romance in this. I don't want to scare off any of our viewers who tend to turn off when they hear the word romance, but there is quite a bit of that in here. Mm-hmm. But I really, really was pleasantly surprised with ChaCha Real Smooth. How about you, Jackson?
I agree with most of what you said. I think that one of the things that makes this movie so special is not just that the relationship between Dakota Johnson and what was his name? I'm completely blanking.
Cooper Raiff, yeah.
Cooper Raiff. It's also his character and Dakota Johnson's daughter. Like they have a very beautiful relationship, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not just a movie about those two falling in love, but also him having finding a friendship with her daughter.
Yeah.
Which is really special.
It felt really genuine too. There was a moment when it first started where I was like, is this guy going to try to befriend the autistic girl just to get in good graces with her mother? Yeah. And no, it felt like when he said, no, I really do like hanging out with your daughter, because he ends up, without giving away much here, he does end up being kind of a babysitter for her at times. And I was really pleasantly surprised with Leslie Mann, who I thought was fantastic, and with that the autistic actress Vanessa Burkhart, who I thought was just really, really, really strong in this as well.
Yeah, it's I was really happy with that, and also just the way that her character was written. I think that we've seen in the past with Sia's film Music that was absolutely slammed for her portrayal of autistic people,
right.
Overly infantilizing them, just really, really demeaning. I think this was the exact opposite, where it really showed, just how that relationship works and how, these are people, and just plain and simple. And I really like that. And also, look, his character is just so likable. Is he a perfect person? Does he have flaws? No, not even a little bit. But there's something about his personality and the way that his character is shown that you just cannot help but to root for. I thought this was great. I think that he's a phenomenal actor. I loved his writing style. I think his directing could use a little bit of work, but I think that also this is, his first real go at it, I would say, just from a commercial standpoint.
Yeah.
And I think he did a really great job. I think he shows a lot of promise, and I really can't wait to see what he does next. And I did mention this to Mom. A little bit funny to write a love story with Dakota Johnson and putting herself as the main character.
Yeah,
she falls in love
with. It's like,
funny move there. I wonder if that was motivated.
We should
at all.
really have a long kissing scene somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? It's a simple film. In many ways, you can look at it and go, it's very basic. It reminded it. I enjoyed this the way I wanted to enjoy Coda more.
I never saw Coda, so
to me, Coda was like that simple, feel-good story, sort of a girl coming of age in that film as well. And it just, even though it won the Oscar, it just did not resonate with me much.
Yeah.
This, in the way, is kind of a very simple coming of age story, also, with some romance thrown in. And Coda, of course, dealt with deaf people. This, of course, deals many times with autism. It's like everything about Coda that didn't work for me worked for this. If that makes sense. And I don't want to say one film's better than the other. It's just for some reason. Maybe it's because it's a young man instead of a young girl. I don't know. I mean, contrary to belief, I've been a man my whole life, or a male.
Yeah.
But this one really rang with me. It's only available on Apple TV right now that I know of, but I definitely would check video on demand if you don't have Apple TV and see if it's out there.
Or do the free trial. Just check it out. I think it's worth seeing. It's a free movie. Why not?
Yeah, this is a surprising little sleeper that I hope people dig up the way we did and take some time. On a scale of A to F. My grades, I'm giving ChaCha Real Smooth an A-.
All right. But before I give my grade, I just wanted to say, I know you mentioned that this. I agree with you. This film definitely has a lot of predictability to it. It follows somewhat of a formula, but I do respect Cooper for making some hard writing choices towards the end that really make this film come together. I think this could have been a lot of a worse movie depending on how it ended, and I think at least for me. He really stuck that landing.
Yeah, the ending is one of those ones where you're gonna go, oh, I wish it didn't have to end like this, but it's probably best that it did.
It's best that it did, and that is why I'm going to give this film an 8 out of 10.
Oh, look at you! Can I talk you?
Look at us agreeing.
Talk you into an 8.5? Because an 80%.
I don't do halves. I don't do halves.
You gave it 80%. So that's
a B.
That's a B.
Right, that's a B.
That's a B. That's a B. ChaCha Real Smooth. There's so many movies, I guess, since we're talking about streaming, and I've been looking ahead. The thing, too, now is with movies is there'd be 2 to 3 films opening every weekend at the box office. Lately, that's just not the trend. I mean, I know we're in summer.
It's not, no.
It's you get that rare weekend when there's really 2 semi-big films. Like you might be able to go, a Marvel film is opening, and then there's a small British thing. But
I did notice. Someone online pointed this out that Oppenheimer, I think it's the new Christopher Nolan movie, is going to be opening the same day as the Barbie movie with Margot Robbie and what's his face, the guy from Drive,
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. So I think those are going to be really competing when those eventually come out too, because they kind of picked a weird time to both come out. Two very different movies with very big actors.
Different audiences, though. I think. I don't know.
It is, but I'll be curious to see which one does better because they're very different movies. Obviously Oppenheimer has probably the most stacked cast I've seen in the last few years. But
obviously, I am very excited for Oppenheimer, and you will probably see Barbie first.
Oh, I'm first in line for Barbie.
Yeah, you're first in line for
that's right
for
up
Barbie
my alley. Yeah.
But yeah, so we may have to be investigating streaming a little bit more. In fact, I have a feeling we're going to be picking another movie next week to review, also from one of the streaming services.
Do you want to say it now? Just because we
to be honest with you, I'm still looking to see what that's going to be. There's a few choices out there, and we hadn't talked about this beforehand.
Just to be clear, is there nothing opening next week?
Oh no, next week's Thor, baby. Next is
okay, cool.
Thor: Love and Thunder. But on top of that,
I didn't know that was coming up.
Jackson and I are going to jump on the Netflix and the Prime and the Apple and HBO Max and whatever else we have, and see if there's
some gems on there.
Yeah, there's got to be something coming out. It's tough. There's a lot of garbage you got to weed through too.
Garbage.
You know,
a lot of garbage.
For like every great Netflix film, there's like the kissing booth.
Too.
We both.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
that was crazy.
Well,
that was crazy.
I think you all know what we both watch secretly now on our laptops and cry at night.
Oh, weep my eyes out.
Yeah.
To that film. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Jackson's going to reveal in just a little bit his pick of a.
I found one, by the way. You might have seen it, but I definitely have found one.
Well, you better have another one on standby.
I'll check.
Have another one on standby.
I have a separate one on standby.
Jackson will be revealing briefly his choice for next week on a classic film that neither one of us have seen. However, last week it was my turn. I've been on a bit of an Academy Award thing lately just because I'm like, man, maybe I should go back and see some of those films.
Yeah.
And look, for every Academy Award movie that stands the test of time, like I can still watch Raging Bull and go, oh my God, what a film.
I still got to see that.
Well,
you're going to hate me, but I still have to see that.
But, then you can turn around and go, I don't need to see Out of Africa again, and I don't even remember liking Out of Africa the first time. So it's always interesting. It's not doesn't stand the test of time. So the question is, did my choice stand the test of time? I chose the 1976 Oscar-winning film Network, nominated for 10 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Cinematography, Director, and Editing. The 4 that it won, and we just watched this today, Jackson, the 4 that it won. What are the 4, if you remember? What is your guess of the 4 categories that Netflix won an Academy Award for? If you don't remember,
you mean Network?
I mean Network, yeah. That won an Academy Award.
Didn't you just say?
I told you the ones it was nominated for, but lost.
I'm going to guess Best Supporting Actor.
Best Supporting Actor, it did not win. That was Ned Beatty. That was the guy who gave the big speech at the end in the conference room. He lost. He was nominated, but he lost. Nobody else won Best Supporting Actor.
Wait, the guy who gave the big speech in this.
Remember at the Ned Beatty? He's like the head of the corporation that buys everything. Remember, they're like, he does not want the show off the air. Yeah.
Best Actor.
It did win Best Actor.
For who?
You tell me.
I would hope for the guy who was on TV.
Yes,
the guy,
Peter Finch.
Yes. I was voting for Supporting Actor. I thought that they would have him nominated because I feel like he's not like a main.
No, he won. He won Best Lead Actor, and he
was so good.
And he died before he won. So
are you serious?
Yeah, the director had to accept. He died the year the movie came out.
Oh, that's so sad.
So Peter Finch won 3 other Academy Awards. Any guesses?
Okay, Best Writing?
It did win. It won Best Screenplay. Patty Chayefsky, it won Best Screenplay. And the last 2 were acting awards.
Acting nominations? Best Female. I'm going to go Best Actress.
Best Actress for Faye Dunaway, yes.
For Faye Dunaway, yeah.
The head of programming.
And
this is a tough one.
What else am I missing?
Best Supporting Actress.
Best Supporting Actress?
Yes. She had pretty much one scene. Beatrice Straight played the wife that he left for Faye Dunaway. She won.
Really?
Yeah, she won Best Support.
She was great in that scene. That's just a surprise to me because she was really barely in it.
One scene, and she won an Academy Award for that. So yeah, it's from.
she played the part really well. So
1976. It's Netflix, directed by Sidney Lumet.
Network.
No, what do I keep saying? Netflix?
You keep saying Netflix.
It's Netflix. It was 1976.
Really ahead of its time.
Really, really ahead of its time. Yeah, Network. Sorry, directed by Sidney Lumet, who also did 12 Angry Men and Dog Day Afternoon and countless classics before his passing. What did you think, Jackson? I made you watch it. Was it worth it?
Yeah, you did.
Or did I waste your time?
First of all, I just want to say that I think that Sidney Lumet is quickly becoming one of my favorite directors. Dog Day Afternoon is one of my favorite movies of all time, as well as 12 Angry Men is just. Come on now.
Did he win an Academy Award? I told you he was nominated. I told you he was nominated for Network, but he did not win. Has he ever won before his passing? Did he ever win an Academy Award?
I would hope to God that he did, but the way you're phrasing it, I'm going to say no.
He did not. He was nominated.
How? How did he let that happen? 12 Angry Men is considered to be the best film of all time by a lot of people.
He was nominated, I believe, 5 times for Best Director, but never won it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Yep.
Give him an honorary one at least. Come on now. That's just rude.
Yep.
Network. I really enjoyed this. I thought that this was a really, really interesting concept. With some absolutely phenomenal performances, especially from the like you said, the guy who plays the newscaster,
Peter Finch.
Peter Finch. Network, obviously, I'm sure everyone watching this watched it because we told you to.
Yeah.
Network is
homework.
the story, of a man who has been on broadcast news for a long time, and when he is suddenly fired, he goes on air and says that he is going to kill himself. On, I believe, the broadcast the following week.
Yeah.
And when he does this, their ratings absolutely spike, and so he becomes kind of the centerpiece for this news network, and you kind of get to watch this entire, I guess, how do I put this? This entire section of the network kind of be formed around propping up this one man who's slowly going insane. And all the different parts of that have their own moments. Yeah, I really did enjoy this. I think that this is extremely prevalent right now. Only aged better with time, in my opinion. This is a movie that has something to say, and it definitely says it in, I think, a very, very good way. My one one big note is that you definitely feel the length of this movie. I think that it takes its time, and I think that sometimes that was needed, but
it's a talkie.
Could have been cut down a little bit.
It's a talkie. It's a strong 2-hour talkie.
Definitely is a talkie. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, I mean, some of those scenes. What was the actor's name? I feel so bad. The one that you said passed away.
Peter Finch.
The main guy. Peter Finch. I mean, I think one of his best moments is the first time when they have kind of like his actual show, and he gives that big monologue and faints at the end, like genuinely like faints from whatever's happening, and then audience clap, and do the zoom in on him, and everyone's enjoying it. That was a great moment. I think that the scene when everyone's shouting out the window, I'm mad.
I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. Really great moment. Definitely had a little bit of a Taxi Driver feel almost in that aspect, but yeah, I really did enjoy this.
I agree with you that the topics of the film stand up. I think it's kind of funny to see the way we were looking at broadcast television and ratings and how important it was to the suits and the people driving the bus, and the complete and utter lack of concern about who they were putting.
No compassion.
Yeah, about who they're putting. Here you're dealing with a man who's literally having a complete psychological breakdown, and they're like, this could make us millions and millions of dollars. I also think it has a lot to say about what's happened. I think it's a little prolific, and then what's kind of happened with news just in general, how news has been. Yeah,
of course.
Back then, news was news. It was the Walter Cronkites and the Brokaws, and it was, you turned on and you had a trusted news anchor. And over time, we now have news that is about entertainment. It's not about news. It's about getting people on to argue with each other or sensationalism. And I think that's
what brings in the money, baby.
It's kind of sad to say in 1976 they were warning us of what direction news was headed in, and I think it's gone, like literally the news for this fictional network UBS, which is competing at the time with the top 3, CBS, NBC, and ABC.
Yeah.
Their news show literally becomes almost a variety show with someone making psychic predictions, someone talking about gossip, someone talking about, then there was one that was like a machine, like, will the machine say yes or no? It was about polling.
Yeah.
And it's
polling.
actually not that far from what news is now. It's like people predicting what's going to be the outcome of Ukraine or the outcome of the Supreme Court justice decisions, and you still have people talking about the gossip and, good Lord, were we not just flooded with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard for such a long period of time? So it's very weird to go back and see a film like this from the 70s and go, Paddy Chayefsky, who wrote this, he saw the writing on the wall. He knew where it was going.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I admire the film for the script. I admire it for its direction. I think it was probably a very authentic type of film at the time. I don't know if it stands the test.
Really?
Really?
Wow, that's shocking to me that you're saying that.
It didn't grip me as much. And I'm going to tell you, I very much enjoyed Peter Finch's performance in the first half of the film. I think I would have loved to have learned more about his character because we don't really know anything about him at all. Suddenly, he's just kind of thrown on for a series of monologues in the second half. And I'm like, I wanted to keep seeing more of his deterioration or know what's going on in his head. But suddenly it was like, it's the Howard Deal show. And then he was on and he had a monologue and he would faint.
Yeah.
So I did want more of him. I wasn't blown away with William Holden's performance. I thought he had a really nice scene finally at the end.
Was that the one who was in love with?
Yes, with Faye Dunaway.
Yeah.
I thought he really kind of had
I can agree with that.
He had a very, very nice moment when he finally makes his big decision at the very end of the film. He had some really nice moments there. Faye Dunaway for me was a bit manic and over the top. It didn't really resonate with me. I love Robert Duvall, but I certainly don't think it's going to be the top of his resume of his best work ever. I felt a lot of the boardroom stuff and the politics behind got a little bit tiresome. So I can respect the film a lot. I don't know if I was completely entertained or completely think it holds up as well as a lot of other Oscar films. Certainly many aspects of the film I enjoyed, but not enough to say it's a classic that stands the test of time.
Interesting. I really liked Faye Dunaway's performance. I thought that like the way that her character was written and the way that she performed it was like very much like that classic stereotype of like workaholic who brings their job and everything.
She won an Academy Award for it. She beat out everyone else. It was considered the best performance of that particular year. I'd be curious to see what she beat and if there was anything else.
What year did this come out?
1976 Best Actress nominees. Get right on that as I cough just off mic. It's not to say I didn't enjoy Netflix, but for a film that was nominated for 10 Academy Awards, won 4, maybe my expectations were a little high, and I do think a little bit is worn over time. And like I said,
do you want to know
who else was nominated that year?
So Faye Dunaway,
who
won for Network.
Yep.
Other nominees included Talia Shire for Rocky.
She beat Adrian.
We got Sissy Spacek for Carrie.
Oh, that's another great performance.
Yeah. We have Liv Ullmann in Face to Face.
Never saw that.
I haven't.
British
never
actress,
saw that.
Yeah.
And Marie-Christine Barrault for Cousin.
No.
Also something I've never heard of before. But 3 really big ones there. You got Carrie.
Rocky they're not going to give it to Sissy Spacek because she was like a teenager at the time. That was like her first film. And I mean, Adrian is, the glasses were half the work. So it probably was the best female performance out of those. I mean, I don't know what else came out, but I'm not saying it was bad. It's just it didn't resonate with me quite as much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, did you say that this won Best Picture?
No, it was nominated. It did not win. That was one of the
Taxi Driver probably beat it, I'm assuming.
Well, if that's the same year, 1976. Yeah, Taxi Driver. Yeah.
All the other so the other nominees, it's not showing me who won for some reason, but the other nominees were Taxi Driver, Rocky, All the President's Men, and Bound for Glory. So those were the other nominees.
Okay, I would say then that out of those, Name them again. I'm going to put them in order. On what stands the test of time.
I'm trying to figure out who won. This is being.
It's got to be Taxi Driver. Or no, Rocky won that year. Rocky won the Oscar.
Rocky beat Taxi Driver?
Yeah, I think Taxi Driver only won for.
I don't even like Taxi Driver that much, but wow.
Taxi Driver. I think De Niro won, and I know Jodie Foster won. Jodie Foster, I think, won Best Supporting Actress for that. And I think I think Harvey Keitel was. Boy, we're really going off on a nerd Oscar tangent right now.
Yes, Rocky did win that.
Yeah, Rocky won.
That year.
As far as those films, give me the 5 films nominated again.
Rocky,
Network,
Taxi Driver, Bound for Glory, and All the President's Men.
Okay, best films of that year in order should have been Taxi Driver, then Rocky, then All the President's Men, then Network, then Bound for Glory.
I haven't seen All the President's Men, so I can't make a statement on that. Yeah. And to be honest, I really do need to rewatch not Rocky, Taxi Driver, because I completely missed the mark on that one. I think that was on me.
That's a great film.
Here's a man who just wouldn't take it.
But I'm not gonna argue against Rocky either. I mean, fantastic movie. So I'm not gonna.
I haven't seen it since I was really little. I barely remember anything.
That's not like a Shawshank losing to
right.
Whatever the hell it lost to that year. Or
whatever, it doesn't matter what
Saving
it lost to.
Private Ryan lost to Shakespeare in Love, but yeah. So on my grade scale, A's to F. In 2023, first viewing, I'm going to give Network a C.
2022.
Yeah, 2022. It feels like 23, doesn't it? Network for me gets a C+.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Network an 8 out of 10.
Well, okay. So an 80.
Interesting. So I guess that makes it.
I can respect it. I just I can't rave about it.
That's fair. I understand where you're coming from.
I can't.
At the very least.
I can't rave. Next week we're gonna see Thor. Now I'm traveling next weekend, so we're gonna try.
You're always traveling.
I know. We're gonna try to get the podcast up by Sunday, but there is a possibility we may have to do a Sunday recording and a Monday launch, just to give you guys a heads up. But if there's any way we can get it out earlier, also with Jackson's work schedule and everything, we got to figure out, because he's probably Are you the kind of guy who feels the need now to go watch all the Thor movies before you see the latest Thor film?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good. You're not that.
If I were to, it would only be the last one though, because the last Thor movie was pretty much just like, forget the first two. We're just gonna do our own. Like, you remember, it was like a complete tone switch. Taika Waititi took over, and thank God he did, because oh my
But
Lord,
hasn't there even been
really
there's been more Thor story since Thor Ragnarok? I mean, there
has been, and there was all the Avengers stuff. I mean, that's when he got fat.
And then he ended up with he's with the
Guardians
Guardians
of the
Galaxy now and stuff like that. Yeah. So next week we got Thor. We're gonna find a streaming film, and Jackson, you are up, son. What classic movie? And by classic, I don't know what you think that defines, but I define a true classic.
I think you'll be somewhat surprised. I'm
really
not surprised by what I picked, but I think you'll.
What is it, Ron?
Hopefully, you respect it a little more than. No, it's not.
Okay.
So me and you have together seen a film by this director in theaters before.
Really?
It's the only film of this director's that I've seen. I enjoyed it a lot, but it's been a long time ago.
Huh.
I actually, a couple months ago, watched a short film that this person directed, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm really intrigued.
It was really funny. But this is a movie that I've been hearing a little bit of talk about lately, just because I think it's having a little bit of a second life. Well, maybe it has a second life, a bit of a cult following.
Oh, a cult classic.
This director is definitely that type. In my opinion, and maybe you have seen this, so if you have, tell me.
But I bet I have.
I have picked Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai, directed by Jim Jarmusch.
I have actually not seen Ghost Dog.
Okay.
I think the Jim Jarmusch movie you're talking about is the zombie one, right? It
was the Dead Don't Die.
Yeah, the Dead Don't Die. Which I thought was fine. I wasn't in love with it. I have heard great things about Ghost Dog. It is a cult. That is a big cult film. That's Forrest Whitaker, right?
It is, and that's also the reason why I wanted to pick this, because I've seen Forrest Whitaker in a lot of things, but it's almost universally been smaller roles.
Yeah.
So seeing him pretty much be the title of the film.
What year is Ghost Dog from?
That's 1999.
99.
So just almost in the 2000s.
Definitely a cult following. It's kind of a samurai. Boy, you on a samurai thing all of a sudden, or isn't that? It's like a karate samurai.
I don't know. I don't know. It caught my eye, and I've been hearing a lot about it. And I watched. God, there was this. You would think this was hilarious. He did this short. I think he did a series of shorts called Coffee and Cigarettes.
Yes, I have seen. I've seen that actually.
He did. There was one he did with Alfred Molina and some British comedian that you'd probably recognize. I can't remember his name, and it was so funny. It was so funny.
I do remember enjoying Coffee and Cigarettes. Yeah. Jarmusch can get a little out there. He's not.
It wouldn't be a Jackson pick.
I know. He's not as crazy as David Lynch, but.
This is going to be an Enter the Void Part 2 scenario.
Nothing could be that bad. Just one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life.
And that's just.
I'm not even exaggerating. It's.
I know you're not, and that's why it hurts me so bad, because it's so,
absolutely horrible. It is the PGN podcast. We got into a bit of a debate last week, and now time.
Is it time?
It's time for the Juice Box Capri Sun challenge.
Okay.
So, to all our listeners out there, you can type it in the comments on whatever you're listening to, YouTube, or tell us on Instagram.
I'm going to put, if you're listening to this on Spotify, I'm going to put up a Spotify poll, and I want you to vote before this happens on which one you think will have more liquid.
Okay.
The Juice Box or the Capri Sun.
This is your standard Capri Sun, standard Juice Box. And if you look at how much fluid is in beforehand, you're cheating. Okay, it just has to be a visual.
That's
thing.
true.
You have to.
Can you show us which flavors we're choosing for today?
Yes,
I think that might be an important distinction.
We will be choosing the strawberry kiwi surf Capri Sun with straw attached, and ready for piercing, and we will be doing a standard Mott's 100%. 100% juice. I don't know who they're filling. Standard apple juice box. I am going to open each one, but I'm going to hold them up first for camera.
Of course.
This is the Capri Sun. Let me get the. This is the juice box. So the question is, which one has more juice inside, or are they 100% equal? Jackson, which one do you pick, or are they the same?
First of all, this is a movie podcast. In case you're listening to this and wondering, this is a podcast about movies. I just want to make sure you know that. Judging from look alone, I'm gonna go with the Capri Sun.
You think?
But that's difficult because the Capri Sun it's obviously taller, but there could be dead space in there, and it's also, I think, a little more thin.
So I can show you the here's the side views. Gut. These are the side views.
Okay, you're right. So I'm gonna stick with my gut and go with the Capri Sun.
The Capri Sun. Jackson, and remember, I have not looked at the fluid ounce sizing contents.
Right, you have not looked at the fluid
honest to God, have not. I am going to say
yes.
They are 100% the same.
Wow. Okay, that's a bold statement. All right. That's a bold claim you just made.
Which one should I open first? I cannot do both.
I'm gonna go. Let's do the juice box first. Let's do juice box first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So normally we would dismantle the straw and pierce it, but to spray it out. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to flip up. If you're watching at home on the YouTube, I'm gonna kind of flip up the box here, like this, and see if I can kind of maybe pierce it open at the top. I wonder if I can.
Feels like
this
feels like a harder way to do it.
You think so?
I feel like.
Well, you think?
I think if you just. I think take the straw and poke a hole in it, and then take the straw out, and then just dump it in.
You think it'll come out of that little hole though? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try.
I used to do that with my juice boxes all the time.
Okay, so I'm punching a hole in it.
And we can do that for both of them so that we're at least we're consistent.
Okay. I should try to spray it out of or pour it out of the hole. What do you?
No, take the straw out.
Take the straw out.
And then pour it.
It's going to take like an hour to come out of this tiny hole. You think this is going to work?
Well, I think it's going to take you longer.
Oh, no, here it comes.
Oh.
All right. So, do you want to talk about anything while this is happening? This might take anything you want. Actually, it's starting to fill up here. So, but I'm gonna keep the level of it just off camera though, because I don't want people.
Okay, yeah. I like that. I like that.
So I'm spraying it in right now. I feel like
He is in fact doing that.
It looks like it's peeing right out. Look at that. You can hear the sound effects. You know this is for real. This is not a.
You know this is for real.
We, by the way, Mott's Juice Box, not a sponsor, nor is Capri Sun.
But
they could
we're
be.
Open to it. So they could be in the future. This could be the future of our podcast.
I might be. I might have all of it out.
Are we coming to the end of it? Okay.
I might have.
All right. Really make sure you really tap that thing. I want all the.
It's all
the bits out. Yeah.
Yeah, all the bits. What is there? Pieces of apple in there?
No, I want every drop. I guess is a better word for it.
This juice box is completely drained. I'm not going to. Here's the top of the glass. I'm putting it over here to the side.
Over to the side.
That is the juice.
Guys, listen.
Now,
I'm getting nervous.
Here is the second glass. And you want me to pierce? Okay, this is the hard thing with the Capri Sun.
I think the same. I think you.
It's so hard to stab this bag.
I know it is.
I have so many memories of a child of this going horribly wrong.
I know, but listen. We have to give the viewers what they want, Dad.
And they want the bag.
There's no other choice.
Want the bag
and they want the bag.
Well, first off, as you can see, remember the Capri Sun. It's sharp on one side. So, all right, I'm going in. I went in. I got a clean shot.
Wow, that was expert level. And then I was saying, take the straw
out. And now we have the glass.
And here, away we go.
Oh, it's not coming out of this hole.
God, I am
good.
Guys, I am just.
I'm afraid. I'm
right
trying
of fear of getting this wrong.
Okay, it's coming out, but not nearly as fast. It's also clear. Just FYI, this flavor has no.
They've been doing that now.
Really? Is that the big thing?
Yeah. Something about additives.
Yeah, this is not coming out as
cancer.
fast. I might have to reinsert the straw. And
we're doing two.
I might have to see if
Make sure you don't lose any.
I'm not. Oh, there it goes. That works. If you can see this works. Look at that.
Oh yeah, we're definitely getting a consistent stream there going. That's good.
Oh, it's kind of
audio listeners. I'm sorry, we have just completely abandoned you, but
this
your fault.
Yeah, you can watch this on YouTube. Oh, this is coming out very quickly.
Okay, that's good.
And I'm making sure to get out every
last drop.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm getting kind of a preliminary idea of what the results are going to be, just from looking.
Okay,
I'm getting
looks.
But as you can see, I'm getting out. Look at that. Every drop, I'm squeezing to make sure.
Looks can be deceiving, though. People remember.
That's true.
We'll see. It's not over till it's over.
It's not over. I'm getting because I'm not gonna. I don't want to hear from the Capri Sun or the Juice Box people if they think something is off. Man, it's pretty dry. I'm not getting. It's not toothpaste, man. I mean, there's nothing else to squeeze out of there. Okay, see that? That is as empty as can be Capri Sun bag.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this is getting real.
And I'm now pulling up the other glass. Oh man, this is are you ready for the reveal?
I've never been more ready in my entire life for this.
Okay, I'm going to hold them at exactly the same level. Tell me which one has more.
Oh no!
Look at that!
Oh no!
Look at that!
Oh my gosh!
By a centimeter or two, I think it's clear, Jackson. The juice box has more. Am I right, Jackson?
The juice box has more.
I'm going
to keep it real, guys.
The juice box has more. I'm putting them down flat on the desk here. Just to
really
look.
Make sure it's just for sure.
And I'm gonna check. Let me get down to eye level. Hold on here, right here. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, Jackson. By Jackson, I'm looking on a completely flat table.
Okay,
It
and
is.
it's by a long shot, it's not even close?
It is at least a centimeter, maybe 2 centimeters. There,
I am
we are
shocked.
both wrong. You said the Capri
I
Sun.
am
I said they
shocked.
were equal. There is actually more in the juice box, standard juice box, than there is in that big satchel of Capri Sun. I am blown away.
A satchel of Capri Sun. That's a great way of putting it.
Do I even want to look to see what the fluid ounces were on the back? Who cares?
Yeah,
No.
you know
Who
why
cares?
not?
The juice box has more.
Okay, I mean, I'm just curious to see like what they say.
Okay, the juice box has 6.75 fluid ounces, or 200 milliliters.
Okay.
And the Capri Sun has stand by. I'm joking. Oh my God, I'm dealing with bronchitis in the juice, the most pivotal part of our entire podcast. I'm looking.
Oh my God.
Damn it, it's not on here. It must be.
Do they put it on the bottom? On the bottom? Check the bottom.
Oh, on the bottom. No, they don't put it on the bottom. Wait, it's such small
I'm
writing.
Googling it.
Wait, maybe in the box. One
wait.
of our staff is getting the box right now.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I'm sending up one of our staff members to get the box of Capri Suns.
One of our many staff members
one of our
that we
two
have here
staff
working in the studio.
members that we have.
Oh man, the suspense is killing me.
It doesn't matter. It was a standard.
I know.
juice box.
Look, clearly it is out of this. I just want to know if they're telling the truth to us.
Jackson, I have been walking the planet for 54 years now, and I have always thought there was more juice in the Capri Sun.
It seems like it's more. It looks like it's more.
The only reason I picked the same is because I wanted to be different from you, because you picked Capri Sun. I didn't want us both to have the same answer.
Yeah.
I never in a million years would have thought that the juice box would have...
I feel like I've been lied to, even though I haven't been.
Guess what? I have numbers for you.
Oh my
Jackson,
goodness.
I have the official numbers. As you recall, the juice box has 6.75 fluid ounces. A Capri Sun, your standard Capri Sun, has 6.0 fluid ounces. That is a sham of a company. I will never drink a Capri Sun again.
They just lost the patron for life.
They made it look bigger. We all thought there was more juice in a Capri Sun. The bag has less than the little tiny juice box. So, Capri Sun.
I feel like the character in Network would do a talk about this on a show.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd find out this and he'd ramble for hours about it.
If Capri Sun even called us to be a sponsor right now, you know what I would tell them?
What would you tell them?
Fuck you, Capri.
Folks, you heard it here first. That's
They didn't officially lie to us, but don't you feel misled? Don't you feel
they didn't lie to us, but for the moment I was born, the moment I had a Capri Sun in my hand, it feels like more.
It looks like you're getting more. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna take the bag of juice over that little tiny box of juice.
Tiny little box.
Yeah.
God damn you, Capri Sun.
Right. All right, well, we'll see you next week with our Twizzlers and Red Vine challenge of 2022. No, we don't have. I don't. You like Twizzlers or Red Vines?
Red Vines.
Yeah, I'm Twizzlers.
Red Vines.
Yeah.
I know you are. It's because you're East Coast.
Yeah. You know who likes Red Vines? Communists.
Who?
Communists.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know who likes Twizzlers?
Hot
Nazis.
Dilfs. Hot Dilfs.
Hot. Man,
hot
right,
dilfs.
if you say so.
Next week, Jackson, Thor, a streaming movie, and we're going to check out Jim Jarmusch's Ghost Dog.
There's a longer title there,
However,
but don't
most
have it on
importantly, this week, please send in suggestions for outstanding classic films that we might have missed, or a really, really bad film that you want to torture us and force us to watch.
Maybe one that doesn't have incest and rape and racism, that would be kindly appreciated.
Might be something along those lines. We are the PGN Podcast. Please follow us on Instagram at PGN Podcast. Also, we're on the TikTok. You can watch our show on YouTube, listen on Spotify, and all other major podcast listening platforms. Follow my son Jackson where?
You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or anything at Jackson Burns. Instagram and Twitter have an extra N at the end of Jackson. Yeah.
I'm on Instagram at Regan.
Where can people follow you?
I'm on Instagram at Regan.Burns. Feel free to drop us a line and tell us which one of us you like better.
And why it's me.
All right. Well, there you have it. Jackson, as always, I am continued to legally announce that I do love you.
And I will kindly respond, as I've been advised by my lawyers, that I love you too.
All right.
So.
Yeah, well, as long as we've got all the I's dotted and Q's queued. See you guys next. I don't even know what that means. See you guys next time.
Later.